Diagnostic Manager is a tool that can be bundled with all other MetaLogic solutions. Here, we'll use the 3 most common business scenarios as reference to demonstrate how other solutions can help in a Diagnostic Manager sale. First, let's talk about business-critical SharePoint. SharePoint has been around for over 10 years, and organizations are becoming more and more dependent on not only collaborating around documents, but also using the SharePoint infrastructure to support key critical business workflows. Customers are spending money to develop solutions for their business users, and in turn, they expect performance equivalent to any other system. So with that, let's look at how other MetaLogic solutions can support this business scenario. Well, certainly, if we talk about backup, they have redundancy in their information. So we're showing what the performance is. You have a bird's eye view, but this gives that good feeling confidence that the information that's critical to the business is saved and can be restored. In this case, Content Matrix probably doesn't necessarily have a play because it's more migration and upgrade, while business critical SharePoint is continuous use. So certainly we'll go to Control Point, and as its Control Point's core message, it will provide confidence in the security and governance of these critical processes. Storage Point, of course, the message of performance when you're talking about business critical, maybe it's large documents and other of Storage Point's key capabilities, but it supports business critical because you take the system out, and again, you have speed. Then, of course, we have Replicator that can bring content closer to the user. So when you're talking performance, you're talking about the speed of the pages that we can judge. Maybe the issue is that one user is in Australia and the SharePoint site is in the United States. So you have network latency. Even though the page is performing well in America, it's not performing well in Australia. So you can use Replicator to have content in both of those locations, and of course have Diagnostic Manager to prove the performance is the same in both of those locations. Next, let's talk a little bit about the speed to troubleshoot. And of course, this is the core of how Diagnostic Manager assists IT organizations. We know that SharePoint is complicated and it is hard to determine the root cause of a performance issue. Was it the browser? Was it the network? Was it the SharePoint servers themselves? Was it SharePoint software? Or maybe applications or web parts that were built by the internal IT team that are sitting on the page? So here, one of the things to troubleshoot, certainly if people are complaining about Content Matrix, Diagnostic Manager can assist in separating a Content Matrix issue from a farm issue, and that would speed the deployment and upgrade. Certainly in this, making sure that the governance policies and all of the rules are set in place that should hinder some of the permissions and other ironic things that happen in SharePoint. And of course, in Control Point, you can view across all of the different farms. And for troubleshooting, maybe you won't be able to solve the issue very quickly, and Replicator can have an always-on environment so that you can roll over to that other environment and troubleshoot the servers separately, so that your RTO and RPO of when you have to support the customer and have the system fully up and running, you don't have to worry about it because you have that warm site on the other side. Finally, let's talk about data center and SharePoint migration or consolidation. So here, Content Matrix is a key player in the consolidation itself. And so Diagnostic Manager and Content Matrix combined will help with pre- and post-migration checks to demonstrate to the end user, to the IT, and the business stakeholders who've paid it for it that the performance is the same from the source to destination. Of course, when you're moving, to make sure that nothing has changed, or maybe if you have changed the permissions and schema, during a data center migration, or mapping users from on-premises to the cloud, that's where control point comes in. Of course, here again, storage point can increase performance in the system, whether at the source or the destination of the infrastructure. So those are the cross-sale opportunities. While Diagnostic Manager can stand on its own, it's definitely a solution that stands even stronger together with other MetaLogic solutions.